When Donald Trump was campaigning, he said, when we get elected, we're going to conduct the largest deportation campaign in American history. He did not say the worst of the worst.
Yeah,
and
he
the
did.
truth is, Abby,
He did also say the
every
worst of the
illegal
worst.
immigrant in America is either working, in which case they are driving down the wages in an industry because their employers can pay them less, or they are living off the government, in which case American taxpayers are paying for them to live here illegally. Both of those are unacceptable, which is why in every single poll that's come out in the last year, a majority of Americans support not deporting the worst of the worst, but deporting every single illegal migrant.
Class typically has 16 students in it. We had 4.
District-wide, there are 145,030 students enrolled in Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools. On Monday, 30,399 were absent, 28,136 unexcused. While CMS doesn't break down the numbers by ethnic origin, Gillespie, a multilingual teacher, did.
Children of parents from Angola, from Vietnam, but the students whose parents come from Latin American countries were the students we were missing. So that was kind of the line, even among the ML students, is that we were missing Hispanic students.
Welcome everyone. It's Talks with Kenny here today. Welcome to the show, and I want to leave with a word of wisdom, right? The human desire is infinite, but your resources are finite. And number one prime example that kind of flushes out and illustrate this word of wisdom is immigration. As you saw from the intro, Charlotte, Carolina, right? North Carolina's teacher says that only 4 of his 16 students showed up amid ICE raids. Imagine that. Wow. An entire classroom, 95% of the students have some connection to possibly an illegal immigrant in this country. Guy said it himself. The district has over 30,000 absent kids, over 20% of their entire student body. Schools are not underfunded and understaffed. They're just full of illegals. Imagine that. Your resources are going in. Everyone's complaining, oh, we don't have enough resources. We don't have enough taxpayer money. They're increasing our property tax to pay for the school district, and it could be over 20% over capacity. You have a budget for 4 people, and 5 people are in your house without you knowing, taking resources, draining the resources faster than what you accounted for. And everyone wonder why schools are underfunded, understaffed. Your property taxes are funding free education for illegal immigrants while your kids' classroom sizes explode and your kids' teachers spend 50% of their day using translator apps to talk to students who can't speak English. I know this because they told me so. Insane. And you wonder why mass deportation was one of the core issues of Trump's administration. I think if someone told me, Kenny, you only can pick one issue, immigration's up there. Immigration and the economy is up there. Because anyway, Biden's inflation already did its damage. And all we can do is really slow the rate of inflation and hope that wage growth catches up fast enough to zero out what the hell Biden did. The highest inflation rate in 40 years, his entire administration. Inflation went up 20%. So if Trump can only increase inflation by 10% and somehow our wages catch up to that, it would lessen the burden. But I think immigration, it's up there. Because how much money will we be saving if the Democrats weren't allowed to do this stuff? Breaking, House committee passes legislation speeding up the deportation of criminal illegals. However we can to whittle that number is what we're going for. Right. And this is one of the negative trade-offs for open immigration, mass immigration. Like, if you want to look at an example, there's this clip I want to show you guys. I don't know how the music is going to be in this video. It might copyright me, but end of the day, I don't care. I'll probably leave it up in there. But
What you're saying is, somehow, whites were about to choke to death on their own homogeneity when people like yourself kindly arrived with diversity and saved us from ourselves. No, we built a wonderful country that your ancestors could not have been. That is why people like you come here. And the more you come in larger numbers, you will change the country my ancestors built into something else. And it is completely normal for me to wish to oppose them.
Mr. Taylor, I've taken enough of your time.
Now, as you guys know on this channel, I don't believe in ethno-nationalism. I believe nationalism should be based on civic loyalty, right? Your loyalty to this land, your heritage, your your connection, your history, your historical connections to this country, which starts with me, right? I'm a first generation, second generation American. This is my country. Like, this is all I know. Born and raised here, educated here throughout my entire life here, especially in the state of Florida. Like, I'm a Florida boy, right? And this is the problem that immigration inherently brings, because immigrants, illegals specifically, because illegals are willing to cut the line because they believe their needs is so much better, or so much immediate, so much of an emergency compared to legal immigrants, right? Legal immigrants, since they're coming in the right way, they have the proper respect and say, hey, this is their culture, this is their rules, I'm abide by their rules. That's someone you want in the country. But someone who cuts the line, finds shortcuts, sneaks into your country, they have no respect for your country. Illegal immigrants treat this country like an economic zone. Oh, this is where you come in, make a lot of money, and then take the resources and pour it back to you, to people at home. And this is where you get all this behavior of them finessing the system. It's funny that liberals can differentiate between 85 genders, but can't tell the difference between illegal and illegal immigrants because they don't want to, because they actually benefit from this stuff. Democrats benefit. We talk about this. Democrats benefit from illegals. And it goes back to a conversation I had earlier on this channel before about, the debate of, America is a country built by immigrants. And that's kind of a lie. It's kind of a misframing. America is a country built by settlers. What's the difference between a settler and an immigrant? A settler comes to unfeathered land, untouched land, and they start from scratch. An immigrant comes into an already existing system. That's the difference between a settler and an immigrant. If you look at the history, this is what I'm saying. A lot of people don't know history. They think, it was by English immigrants that came to unsettled land. And then you talk about the Indians and you go into the whole debate. But at the end of the day, the current structure, there was no pre-existing structure similar to where these people immigrated away from, England. They created a country, little settlement from scratch. An immigrant comes into something that already exists before they came into it. They already had an established culture. They already have people living there. That's the difference between an immigrant and a settler. And this narrative that the left love to push as an excuse or as a deflection to tolerate people disrespecting your country and treating it like a hustle. Oh, we're going to come here and here. Oh, if I can't get free SNAP benefits, then there's no point in me staying in this country. Oh, how cute. So you came into this country illegally, living off the system, putting a burden on the system, not contributing to the system at the same rate as native-born Americans, and you only want to stay here if you're getting cash and prizes. And this is why I said the Democratic Party, they use government resources like a bribe because at the end of the day, they get a benefit from it. The reason why they give all these cash and prizes to illegals and all that stuff is because it helps them politically. For every dollar you pay, you can get 10 people in your city that will give you more power in the government through the census. And you wonder why Democrats don't want the census to only count Americans. You wonder why they fight that restriction so much. But without further ado, we're going to have a debate here between Batia and Abby Phillips.
There have been many examples of that. They are also being picked up indiscriminately, having their car windows shattered by immigration officials. Why?
Well,
because they look like they are
according to the immigration
illegal?
officials, he did not listen to their instructions, and he was released an hour later. So, I mean...
So, but why? What is... He was showing...
Bruh, these people, bruh, they pretend they never see a traffic... If you're not complying with the police, they have the right to enforce the law. If you're resisting arrest, and this is the number one argument, your behaviors was driving these outcomes, not you. And then the funny part is you're going to try to insinuate some racial motive behind. No, you wasn't complying. You gave him an opportunity to enforce the law physically, right? I saw a video. There was a black cop, right? And it was during the Antifa raids and the Antifa protests and all that, the No Kings protests, whatever. A black cop was telling this white dude, hey, get out of my face. Get out. Back up, back up, back up. Didn't listen. Black guy put the rifle behind his back, proceeds to fold the dude. You want to say that was racial motive too because the guy was a white guy? Make it make sense. But this is the Democratic Party. Anything to mask the political motive here. Immigration doesn't benefit any American, or maybe Democrats, but that's because they're making a trade for political power. That's the trade they make with illegal immigrants. and for being tolerant on illegal immigration. We shouldn't tolerate illegal immigration at all. If someone breaks into your house, they're not a welcomed guest. That's the nation's border at scale. And for some reason, liberals want to pretend they don't understand that sentiment. They want to call you heartless for expressing that. I'm not heartless, I'm practical. The practicality is, hey, our resources are finite. No matter how large our resources are, it's finite. But I digress. Let's continue with the debate.
Supposed to listen to law
according to
enforcement.
him, he was showing them his real ID, which is generally an indication.
We'll see.
Oh,
Well,
You have to have
so a
legal
real
status
ID
to have
doesn't
a real
matter.
ID.
You have to have
Illegal immigrants get IDs in this country all the time.
No, not a
Botch
real
is right.
ID.
Oh, hold on,
Not a
wait,
real
Scott.
ID.
No, Scott. Real IDs, you cannot get a real ID unless you have documentation.
Is the possibility zero? No, the possibility is not zero. Okay, so there's a possibility. Do we have any examples of that? Well, if they're giving CDL licenses in California to truck drivers, it's realistic to assume they're also giving IDs. I mean, in certain states, illegals have social security numbers. Hell, in Minnesota, I forgot the guy's name. The guy who ran with Kamala Harris for vice president. I forgot his name. Tim Walz. He's a governor of, I think, Minneapolis. I don't remember. Guys, I forgot. Minnesota. He passed a law allowing illegals to have a driver's licenses and stuff and IDs. So it's possible. But, here's the narratives.
Of your
How do they know it was
status.
his? Here's the bottom line. Botch
A
is
real
right.
ID, Scott?
Of course, Botch is right.
So why not just
If the
look at, hold
cops
on,
come to your
but why
car-
not just look at the real ID and determine whether or not it actually belongs to him as opposed
And I keep pausing it because it lacks any kind of practicality in reality, right? If you've seen those shows, I think I did a video a long time ago on this channel. I'm sorry, I do a lot of videos here, guys. I have over 1,000 videos on this channel. Thank you guys for watching, by the way. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate the engagement, the comments. Sometimes you guys give me super thanks. I really do appreciate it. I'm very appreciative of all the support I've been given. There's the videos out there of when you put people in the same shoes as the police, they react worse than what the police does. Everything they said, oh yeah, why you can't do this? When they're in the actual situation, boom, boom, boom. You wasn't supposed to shoot him. You were supposed to give him prior warning before you did that. Oh, he just jumped out at me. Well, you see how it feels to be a police officer now. There's YouTube channels about this stuff. Go watch it. Very educational. You find out, oh, okay. And it's easy to be armchair quarterback. Oh, you should do this. But that you remove so many factors out of that situation. And pretending, oh, look, you could have just checked the ID. People run with fake IDs all the time. There's college kids who are 17 years old, trying to get into clubs. They get into clubs with fake IDs. You don't think an illegal who came in here illegally will find a way to get a fake ID? And at a traffic stop, especially he's not complying, it makes you more suspicious. Come on. Live in reality. Live in the real world. Stop playing this world of theory and imagination where everything has a right answer. No, this is not reality. I'm done with the lecturing. Let's wrap up this video.
to
Abby.
shattering his window and arresting him? It's a simple question.
If I were
Scott.
driving down the road and got pulled over and the
Yeah.
police came up to my window and gave me instructions and I didn't follow it, what would happen to me?
Yeah, but hold on.
Smashing in my window. That's what would happen to me.
First of
Follow
all,
the laws
I think that we
and
also just need
instructions.
to acknowledge that there are different versions of what happened here in terms of what DHS is saying versus what the individual is saying. So I think that there's that. But secondly, if you were stopped and a cop stopped you and was like, "Are you a U.S. citizen?" and you showed them the ID that you had on.
Let's frame it a different way. We all applied for jobs, right? If you're watching this channel, a lot of you guys are over the age of 25. We all apply for jobs, right? They always ask, "Are you a U.S. citizen?" Now, if someone asks you in person with words, I'm supposed to be offended now? Make it make sense. No matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Filipino, Taiwanese, Chinese, Indonesian, that job application is going to ask you if you're a U.S. citizen. So now that someone is asking you in person, we're supposed to be offended about that. This is why I'm talking about the weakness of the liberal, right? We just finished going over this again. I'm not trying to rant back down that route. But This is why they want you to believe in victim mentality. This is why they want you to believe in microaggressions. So you're offended by stuff like this so they can generate fake outrage based on the actions of something that's logical and practical. Anybody can be illegal. You don't think there's white illegal immigrants in this country? Make it make sense. Oh, it's only Hispanics. Isn't that racism and stuff that said that only Hispanics come into this country illegally? Sure, they're the majority. They could be the majority, sure, because their countries are closer to our borders, not because of race. Their countries is just more convenient for them to jump because they share it in the same continent as us. But this is the baffling nature of sometimes that this is the passive racism that liberals project. They don't treat you like an individual. They treat you like a collection or a category. And there's just supposed to be an expected behavior based on your categorical group that you fit into. Or you're a black man, you're supposed to be illiterate, supposed to be prone to misinformation. You don't know how to get a voter ID. That's why voter ID is racist for black people. Come on. Liberals. The more base between the two political factions, between conservatives and liberals are more likely to change their language based on the skin color of the individual that they're talking to. And they're doing the same thing. They don't think you can operate in this society on equal footing with everyone else. That's the bigotry of low expectations that conservatives, black conservatives, vehemently push back and argue every damn day against. Stop treating us like we're less than. Stop treating us like we're inferior. Stop treating us like we're handicapped. Stop treating my skin color as a handicap. Treat me like an equal. Give me my respect, as my mom would say. That's what conservatives want. Black conservatives want. We want respect, not sympathy, not your fake version of compassion so you can virtue signal off of that. We want respect. And I don't think you're going to get respect acting like a black liberal, crying about how you feel what someone is saying. Okay, I said I was going to revisit it. Let's continue.
On you, which is your real ID, your driver's license. And they were like, that doesn't matter.
Roll down my window,
we're gonna arrest you and we're gonna figure it out later. What would you say?
If I failed to roll down my window, if I didn't listen to the instructions of law enforcement, I'd have whatever was coming at me because that's stupid. Just say, yes, I'll roll down my window. Let me show you my ID. Failure to follow simple instructions gets people in trouble all the time. Now, Charlotte, by the way, human trafficking hub, major MS-13 problem, huge murder rate issue, and the governor right now won't turn 1,400 illegals over to the feds, and he should be doing it.
Just to note, crime is
down 20%.
24%.
They have a huge uptown Charlotte, major
homicides are down 24%, aggravated assaults down.
So this is where, there's three kind of lies. They say lies, damn lies, and statistics. So statistically, she's going with general, and I guess Scott Jennings was focused more on the local district area. Right. But this is the kind of things that, it hurts America as a whole. Right. And Democrats, they don't want to see the issue with this because at the end of the day, this is something that Trump ran on. And obviously, as a liberal, it's blasphemous to agree or see that Trump has a point in anything. Right. And this is why they're doing all this fake crying about, oh, my God, Trump is deporting people. Oh, Americans are scared that they're going to be the next one. Come on. Oh, he's deporting American citizens. What? What are you guys on? What are you guys on? How is saving illegals helping America? Every illegal immigrant living in the U.S. is either working, driving down the wages of the working American, because employers can pay them less, or being subsidized by American taxpayers. Both options are unacceptable, which is why a majority of Americans support deporting everyone. Not criminal ones, every single one. If you came into this country illegally, bye-bye. Craziness. Here's some comments. Spot on. And the children of illegals are harming public school system as well. Translators needed, classrooms are overcrowded, zero cultural cohesion, and budget shortfalls all around. Total disaster. But Democrats don't want to acknowledge that. Because me as an American, I speak out about open immigration, mass immigration, how it needs to be controlled. And they want to call you, oh, you're anti-immigration. Oh, you hate immigrants. No, I don't. It's like telling if I put rules on my kid, does it mean I hate my kids? No. It means I demand discipline. Hey, there's a certain expectation placed on you. And you have to act accordingly if you want to be a part of this family, if you want to be a part of this house, right? If you want the fruits and benefits of being in the family, you have to abide by the rules. If not, time out. You lose your privileges. No phone, no video games, no tablet, no internet. Oh my God. Hell, adults can't live without internet nowadays. Imagine your kid. But this is the problem that conservatives constantly keeps talking about. Conservatives are the ones saying you can't afford that. That's not a good financial decision. Liberals going, you only live once. Go ahead. And they're doing that. They're trying to do that with the national budget by housing all these legals using your fees. And this is what I'm talking about. The emotional manipulation of the Democratic Party. You may have good intentions, right, Democrats, but your good intentions is bad policy. It's creating bad outcomes. It's creating the things that y'all complain the most about. Affordability, housing prices, all this stuff. And deportation can kind of help alleviate that, but you don't want it because your people benefit from it. Democrats benefit from it. There's no way you can avoid that questioning, that line of questioning. Democrats want illegals in this country because it helps them politically, from the census numbers to if the possibility they get the right to vote. It creates a whole class of Americans that have direct ties to illegal immigration. And then the Democrats can play on that and saying, if this Republican wins, he'll deport your grandma, your tia, your abuelo, your abuela. They're going to do that. Oh, no, I got to save abuela. And you can emotionally manipulate those Americans to vote for your cause, even if that's the detriment of greater America. This is what the Democratic Party wants. This is why I said the Democratic Party can truly only win with division, identity politics. They can't unite all of Americans behind that. They got to say, oh, you Americans, you got illegal ties, so, you can help us with the illegal immigration. Oh, yeah, we're going to give you social justice, Black America, so we can give you lenient charges, no cash bail, because your people disproportionately commit crimes, and we can frame it as an unfair system prosecuting you, right? They got slices for everybody. Because if you're accountable to everybody, you're accountable to nobody. That's the game of politics. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts and perspective in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video if you feel so inclined. It does help me out in the algorithm. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.